Good morning, security gang. Happy Monday and welcome back to the CyberHub Podcast. My name is James Azar. I'm the host. I'm also a Chief Information Security Officer and Cybersecurity Practitioner by trade. Thank you all for tuning in this morning. We've got a packed show just a few days before Christmas. Yesterday, we wrapped up Hanukkah. So 8 days of Hanukkah officially over. In just a few short days, many around the world will be celebrating Christmas. And today, we've got a lot to talk about in cyber news, including the new Pentagon CIO confirmed, China-linked hack to the UK Foreign Office, Russia blamed in Denmark ahead of their elections, and North Korea's $2 billion crypto surge with Amazon blocking 1,800 fake IT workers. And then we'll hit some current edge devices warnings like Cisco WatchGuard and FortiCloud, Docker's new Hardened images, and Iran's Infi APT, as well as an AI security mega deal and an NDAA update, and so much more on today's show. Like you said, and like I just kind of read off, there's a lot to talk about today, a ton. So without further ado, join me this morning for my double espresso. I've got my festive glass. You see those beautiful little kind of holiday-ish, I'd say Christmassy snowflakes, although no snowflakes on this show, but cough cup cheers, y'all. If you notice, the foam there is delicious. All right. We're going to kick off this morning's show with a celebration. That's right, a celebration. The Senate confirmed Kirsten Davis as its new CIO for the Pentagon. The Department of War's new CIO will be driving a zero trust rollout, software modernization, cloud acquisition, and the cyber workforce pipeline. So, Kirsten in front of the shows, really, she's been waiting a long time to get confirmed. She had to get confirmed really late Thursday night into Friday morning, and the kind of Senate had to do like over 100 confirmations simply because of the political holdup of DC, which is absolutely insane. She was first nominated for her post in May. She'll be taking over for Katie Arrington, who's been performing those duties since March. Katie will now be moving back to the private sector, is my understanding. Kirsten, again, she was the Chief Information Security Officer at Unilever, also held a role at Estee Lauder. She was also the Managing Director and Group Chief Security Officer for Barclays Africa, and she has also held some roles at HP and Siemens, as well as leadership positions at Booz Allen and Deloitte Australia. So it's great to see Kirsten take over her role. What a great Christmas gift. And we're all lucky to have someone like that in the Pentagon now. Seriously, Kirsten is highly qualified for this role. She's going to drive through a lot of the bureaucracy in the Pentagon to bring about a better state of our war capabilities and defense capabilities there. So congratulations to her. Congratulations to every single American, because we have some competency at the CIO level. We didn't have it before. Katie, very capable, but Kirsten now confirmed as the permanent CIO. Good luck to her. All right, let's move to this North Korea digital surge. $2 billion in crypto theft. Amazon is blocking over 1,800 fake IT workers. North Korea keeps leaning on two plays: large exchange intrusions and rented identity employment to place DPRK operators inside Western firms. Amazon says it itself blocked over 1,800 suspected applicants by catching latency anomalies, resume discrepancies, and remote access tells. This isn't just crypto, but any remote contractor, channel dev, data labeling, MSPs can be an insider risk and a sanction problem. Some of the lessons I learned from what Amazon shared is you got to do live KYC for contractors, require device attestation and geofencing. For exchange and FinOps, one thing you should be doing is withdrawal whitelist, 24-hour holds on first-time addresses, and auto holds on flows touching known mixer clusters. Organization-wide, phishing-resistant MFA for all admins would go a long way there. We've talked about it constantly on the show, but don't underestimate how important that is. Short-lived tokens, by default, all go a very long way to help strengthen and harden your environment. In the UK, the Foreign Office was hacked. by China, but they're saying low risk. So apparently the British Foreign Office does nothing now. So reportedly a long game, a credential and phishing, as well as web app exploitation campaign targeting policy intelligence and mailbox search for the UK Foreign Office. Law firms, consultants, energy, and defense contractors with UK ties will likely see some spillover, primarily around spear phishing and even potential hack and leak staging. And again, this one here, the incident first reported by The Sun, attributed the attack to the China-based Storm 1849er. It said the attackers accessed personal information understood to possibly include tens of thousands of visa details to the UK, but it's low impact. Apparently, they're taking advantage of vulnerabilities in the popular line of Cisco firewalls used by governments in Asia, Europe, and the US. Speaking to broadcaster Sky News, the government trade minister, Sir Chris Bryant, said there certainly has been a hack at the FCDO, and we've been aware of it since October. And they're saying, not a lot of risks to individuals. What about policy? What about strategic policy around the UK? How blind is this British government? At what point is this incompetence? At what point, when governments say, look, it didn't violate GDPR, but what about national security? This is your foreign office, the places where people who apply for visas who are trying to escape prosecution, maybe, potentially, some of them visiting your country, and their details. And it's very dismissive. Unbelievable. Just, wow. The UK has been a constant target for Russia and China and Iran and North Korea. Just pounded, and nothing. The shadow foreign secretary. So for those who don't know British politics, there's the actual government, and then the opposition creates a shadow government, and they kind of appoint someone to be in every position, and then they kind of, present the opposing point of view. Keir Starmer, who's the prime minister in the UK, being called out by Priti Patel on Friday for failing to protect Britain from China's foreign interference in our country, saying he kowtows to China at every opportunity, can't be trusted to protect our national interest. Mr. Patel's not wrong, folks. He's not wrong. Not on this one. All right. Denmark is blaming Russia for pre-election and water utility attacks across the country. Denmark's defense intelligence saying Russia-linked actors probed local authorities and water infrastructure using valid accounts and living off the land type of attack. There's a lot of this that's happening around election time in a lot of these different Nordic countries. And again, Moscow was responsible for disruptive and destructive cyber attacks on Danish water utility in 2024 and a series of denial of service attacks, which overwhelmed Danish websites ahead of regional and local elections last month. That seems to be a theme with Russia trying to disrupt elections with disinformation, misinformation, as well as interruption. This is being attributed to No Name 057, which is being attributed to the Russians. And again, just last week, we talked about how Germany summoned and called out the Russians for their interference in their local elections. Again, just Russia at it. And the best we're doing right now, the best some of these Western nations are doing is, diplomatic. They're not really kick people out, limit traveling visas, tariff their trade, do something of meaning, something to weaken the Russian administration within Russia. Get the ire of the people in Russia against the activities of their government. Do the same with China. Not a lot of backbone, unfortunately, in the Western world today. All right. Docker hardened images are now open source and free. The minimal hardened base images reduce attack surface and stop accidental secret leakage in builds. Mirror them in your private registry. You should be enforcing policy that builds must start from approved bases, and you should scan images for vulnerabilities and embedded credentials before they're released. This is a great one here by Docker as well. So go check that out. It's open unlimited. We'll have the link available on our website at cyberhubpodcast.com. Cisco secure email, or what they call as async OS 0 days, being exploited in the wild. This is CVE 2025-203-903 being actively exploited. There's workaround guidance available while patches roll out. Email gateways sit in the trust path, so compromise means policy tampering, credential capture, and even payload insertion in the safe mail. You should pull the admin plane behind VPN and IP allow list. You should apply Cisco's workarounds and hunt for any new admin users, policy drifts, or odd ESA or WSA logins. All would help kind of make that a bit more tough. WatchGuard Firebox has a new remote code execution flaw that's being exploited. This is CVE 2025-14733. Its internet-facing or publicly managed appliances are at risk. You want to patch to the fixed firmware. You should be disabling public management, rotate the device credentials, and check for implants or rogue users, as well as unexpected config changes. So this one specifically includes firewalls running OS 11.x and later, including 11.12.4 update 1 or 12.x or later, and 2025.1 up to and including 2025.1.3. The vulnerability is an out-of-bounds write weakness that enables unauthenticated attackers to execute malicious code remotely on unpatched devices. So you want to make sure you get these patched up as well. Let's move to 40, where 25,000 40 cloud SSO devices are exposed to remote attack path. This one coming after the authentication bypass issues were fixed in supported trains, but tens of thousands of these still remain exposed. You should upgrade and patch these up immediately. This is CVE 2025 59719 and 59718, and it's impacting 40 OS, proxy, switch manager, and web. And that the vulnerable 40 cloud SSO login feature is not enabled until admins register the device with the company's 40 care support service. Arctic Wolf reported on Monday the vulnerability is now actively exploited to compromise admin accounts via malicious SSO logins. So you want to make sure you get this patched up ASAP. We'll move to Iran. Infi APT resurfacing with new loaders and beacons. The focus is diplomats, NGOs, and policy organizations through spear phishing and even compromised sites. You should be looking for mailbox search and long dwell doc staging, block macros and script abuse, and watch for Office/script and PowerShell chains. Flag TLS exfils for rare ASNs while you're at it as well. So there's that. Let's move to this one. Palo Alto and Google Cloud coming together here in a multi-billion-dollar AI and cloud security deal. The tighter ties across SOC tooling, posture management, and AppSec are really coming together. Consolidation pressure and pricing changes in 2026 renewals are mapping overlap with your SIM XDR and CSPM. So all of that is coming into play, aimed at helping enterprises securely accelerate cloud and AI initiative. The deal is marking a deepening of the technical and commercial ties between Palo Alto Networks and Google Cloud. Palo Alto will migrate key internal workloads to Google Cloud and utilize Google's Vertex AI platform and Gemini LLMs to power its own security copilots. The companies are integrating Prisma Air's the AI security platform directly into Google's Cloud's developer ecosystem, with the partnership also involving deeper integration of core security infrastructure like software firewalls, global SASE connectivity, and operational streamlining. This is going to be significant, folks. You don't know it yet. Palo Alto is making some moves here. These moves are going to be absolutely significant. President Trump signing the NDAA and the defense bill allocating millions to Cyber Command mandating Pentagon phone security. President Donald Trump signing the $901 billion Pentagon policy bill on Thursday night that features a slew of key cybersecurity provisions. The 2026 National Defense Authorization Act, passed with bipartisan support in both the House and Senate. The compromise measure authorizes Defense Department policies and unprecedented spending levels for national security programs. The bill includes language that effectively preserves the dual hat structure of Cyber Command and NSA. The bill also adds an extra layer of protection for keeping the leadership arrangement, which has been debated since 2010, in place. The president also nominated Army Lieutenant General Joshua Reed to be the next head of Cyber Command and NSA. The bill also gives Cyber Command $73 million for digital operations and $30 million for unspecified activities, $314 million for operations and maintenance at Fort Meade, and so much more money going to cyber there. So that's absolutely excellent. That's signed and ready to go. The U.S. shutting down eNote, which has been used to transfer over $70 million in illicit funds since 2017, including proceeds from cyber attacks against healthcare and critical infrastructure entities in the United States. The cryptocurrency exchange was allegedly involved in laundering money for ransomware groups and other cyber crime organizations. According to authorities, the eNote payment service and Money Mule network were used to transfer proceeds originating from ransomware attacks to account takeover incidents. In conjunction, the U.S. announced charges against Mikhailo Petrovich Chodanovitz, 39, of Russia, who controlled and operated the crypto exchange. He's obviously in Russia, so there's that. And NIST had prepared a companion to its widely used cybersecurity framework that focuses on how organizations can safely use AI. The CSF for AI, which the agency released its draft on Tuesday of last week, describes how organizations can manage the cybersecurity challenge of different AI systems, improve their defense capabilities with AI, and block AI-powered cyber attack. The document maps to the CSF on specific recommendations. So you've got some frameworks there to apply to and look at as well. That's it for our show today. But if you still want to get more, you can go to cyberhubpodcast.com. Check out our exclusive articles there, as well as a summary of today's episode in written format with a good action list that you can share to your organizations, take parts of it and share them across. The CISO Skill Challenge, a decade of evolving competencies. That's what was published on Saturday, exclusive for insiders at cyberhubpodcast.com. Also, our 3-part series on the subscription model and breaking the CISO budget is now free and available on our website at cyberhubpodcast.com. So go and check that out. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow with more, as well as Wednesday morning, Christmas Eve, with the latest. And then we'll be off on Thursday for Christmas Day and back the following Monday. Have a great rest of your day, y'all. And most importantly, stay cyber safe.
We love feedback, so make sure to connect with us on social media and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform.